Hello, dear ones. Welcome to Sacred Mischief. I am the MC here, the Master of Ceremonies, Zeb Green, and it's such a delight that we're spending this little bit of time together with all the chaos outside to take a moment for a deep breath to help us ride the storm when we go back out there. Today I'm sharing a little homily and reflection of just how much I love film noir. Film noir is one of my favorite genres. The cynical nature, the one-liners, the broken people engaging with a corrupt world, just give it to me. One of my favorites is The Maltese Falcon. Humphrey Bogart, our anti-hero, Peter Lorre, the witty, high-energy cretin, Sidney Greenstreet is overly charming, verbose, and oh so deadly. Mary Astor as our deadly femme fatale. Everyone is on the hunt for the fabled Maltese Falcon, a black bird statuette of unimaginable value. Murder, intrigue, lies, the entire plot revolves around this thing, this near magical item, this MacGuffin. What is a MacGuffin? Well, it hardly matters. It's the thing that people look for in a story. It's the object on which everyone revolves and sets the world spinning. Our MacGuffin can be placed with almost any word or object without changing the story one bit. The Maltese Falcon, the holy grail for the Spider-Man fans out there, the goober. You know, that thing that's needed. Why is it needed? It's needed so we can have a story. It's amazing how much the physical MacGuffin is actually trivial in terms of the plot. However, the emotional weight the characters place on it is what gives the story its edge. Take the Maltese Falcon. The actual item never appears in the film. We get a decoy, but that's it. It's just the hunt for it. It's the scheming and plotting that makes the movie thrilling. It's the betrayal, double-crossing, and murder that tantalizes us. It's the ultimate giving up on the chase and choosing loyalty that gives us redemption and just a brief taste on the tip of the tongue of hope. It's the bitterness and resignation in choosing loyalty that makes us feel the cost. The item? Well, we heard about the Falcon. And despite being everyone's motivation, it might as well not existed. The MacGuffin itself is irrelevant. The response to the MacGuffin is everything. And today, I'll flirt with heresy by declaring that the divine, the sacred, God is just a MacGuffin. What is a MacGuffin? What is God? What is the sacred? Does divinity exist? Sure, we can argue and debate about it, but can we hold divinity in our hands? Is there any tangible God? Not that we can prove, not that we can hold. We can look at coincidences and make assumptions. We can stare into the void and ascribe a meaning. We can rally our reserves and say we leaned on Jesus, but we can't point to a crystal clear moment of divine intervention. I say this as a person who's devoted my life to the sacred. I long for divinity. I crave the gods. I lust after spirituality. And yet, one could, in all fairness, accuse me of discussing my imaginary friends. I don't care, though, about proving anything. I've got a powerful narrative that gives me meaning. I've got an anchor which prevents me from going adrift. There's a drive and quest to my life. I have my MacGuffin. I have my God. People throughout time immemorial have longed to know God and the divinities. We have our sacred books. We pass along beautiful traditions and myths. We hunt for relics and artifacts that were touched by heroic figures. Our collective hunt for the sacred includes stories far more tantalizing, thrilling, and bloodier than any film noir adventure. Crusades, inquisitions, revolutions, conquest, resistance, all this and more are a result of people questing for God. Yet, what do we have to show for it? What evidence is there that these beings exist? All we have is a series of gods whose existence is only attested to in our words about them. They're immensely subjective. Our gods are MacGuffins. I don't say this to disavow our divinities. Their power is all the more marvelous because of their mutable nature. How many plots and stories would dissolve without their specific goober? The Maltese Falcon, without the chase, without a world revolving around the hunt, would be a world in stasis. Without something to covet and desire, the intrigue would melt away. Without a mystery to to solve, or detective, would languish in gin and sarcasm. Without a purpose and a challenge, we'd remain apathetic and untested. Our gods, secretive, poorly defined, seemingly inert though they may be, are the fundamental driving forces of our lives. Our desire for them motivates us to go out the door and into the world. The need for them is the spark of adventure that helps us engage with all the bullshit out there. Getting caught up in if spirituality is tangible leads us to forget the immense power of the intangible. Seeking proof of divine manifestation is irrelevant. Our response to the divine is everything. Is our response to the divine to dominate and control? The Church has certainly used God as a weapon by waging war against all who disagree with them. Their response to a brief encounter with the mystery was to control it, hold it tight, and keep the benefits to themselves. Is our response to the divine to liberate? Liberation movements have striven to work with God, to break chains, heal the wounds, and help set people free. This is when a brief encounter with the riches of the divine convinces us of infinite possibilities, a solve working within this world, ever abundant love. That rare moment when we let those riches go while trusting that there is abundance enough for everyone, by sacrificing our own grandeur for the good and well-being of all. There is enough, it is rich enough. Our task is to name our MacGuffin and ask what is most sacred to us. We are charged to find that which we treasure above all else. We do not need to attain this ultimate goal or hold this treasure. If our great mystery can be reduced to something our senses can perceive, then we may not be dreaming wildly enough, friends. We need to move from the tangible to the intangible. The greatest riches are not ones that could ever go in a bank. While pursuing this treasure, we have to choose, and we have a choice of our classic film noir archetypes to follow. Do we want to be like Laurie and Greenstreet, out to use, manipulate, and dispose of those in our way? Do we want to be the pure, naive, and innocent dreamer who can barely make it through the movie? The protagonist in film noir is the anti-hero staring too long and hard at the cruelty and despair of this world, who struggles with cynicism. Yet the quest for truth and resolving the mystery of the MacGuffin leads to a rickety sort of honor, helping them to rise above the squalor, at least for a moment, until the artifact disappears and pushes the quest to continue. The MacGuffin serves to set us on our adventure. The response to the sacred is the catalyst driving our lives. Friends, it's time to search for your divine MacGuffin. Thank you for taking this little bit of time with me. Please feel free to check out the Sacred Mischief website to reach out to me. I'm here for y'all. You can always reach out to me. Hope you take care. Hope you like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff while you're here. And just be well, my friends. Until next time we meet again. Goodbye.